Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Rodan. And today, I'm going to the movie theaters, yes sirree. So, I figured we'd do this because I want to see a kaiju movie, King of the Monsters. And just so you know, I'm barely watching like any teaser trailers, aside from a few of them, that was it. So, I didn't really watch anything else, really, like any news articles or what I've discussed in this movie. I avoid a lot of it. So I have some vague idea of what this movie is going to be about. So I figured I'll just go to the movie theaters and watch this. And but this is probably something I should be doing more often, really. Yeah, maybe I should. I don't do this that often, I just should. So anyway, here we go.
Have your attention, please. Please keep seats adjacent to the train doors available for seniors, people with disabilities, pregnant women, and others.
Okay, let's just do this shit, I guess. Alright. Seems like a rather nice place, folks. Yes, sirree. Yeah, even though I'm a top secret agent, and I'm using public transportation to do this shit. What the hell? That seems weird. Whatever, I guess. Okay. Yeah, but anyways, it does seem quite sunny out. So here we go, I guess. Yeah, it seems a rather nice day today, folks. So, as I said a moment ago, maybe I should do this more often. I guess if I can, I guess. So I did went to see all the Disney Stars movies, and I did like a out and about video, but unfortunately those videos got copyright claims on them, so I don't redo them. So I'm gonna do my best not to use any images, I guess, because YouTube is being such a pain in the ass, I guess. But as it's fucking supposedly fair use, I guess you can say. So anyway, I'm gonna do my best trying to enjoy the movie anyway, because I feel like I don't talk enough about giant monster movies as it is. Even though I like watching this kind of stuff. So anyway, just trying to head to the place and whatnot. So yeah. Alright, folks, I'm getting to the movie here pretty close. As you can see, it's right over there. Yeah. The motherfucker's right over there. So, yeah. Again, I'm getting close. Maybe I should, do more of these kind of videos, I guess. I guess if I can. Yeah, if I can, folks, I might do more of these videos. I'm not making any promises. Of course, I guess I always do it whenever I have the chance, I suppose. So, yeah. Alright. Now, of course, I'm trying to get it out of the early screen, obviously. So, here we go. Alright, folks. I got my movie ticket, so as you can see. I'll be watching this film at 11 at seat 10. Yeah, E10, I guess you can say. Auditorium number 2. Alright then. So you got it right here, the damn thing right here. So, yeah, I'm gonna actually go and just watch this today. So, alright, let's have a look, shall we? Yes, sirree. Alright, folks, looks like, the movie just finished. And, of course, I give my thoughts about it and whatnot. And Lou just got to finishing. And, so basically, I do have to talk about the plot, of course, and obviously, I'm not going to give no spoilers or anything, of course. I'm just going to talk about the general summary and what I thought about it, of course, and that'll be that. So yeah, I'm still in the movie theater or whatever. So basically, let's get the plot, shall we? I guess. So it goes into the whole idea that it takes place about 5 years after the first film that came out in 2014. So basically, the government here, the American government, to be more precise, wants to do something about these, monster attacks, and how to better assist the situation, because they want to prevent from things getting worse and much worse. I mean, which you all know is going to happen. Of course, it's going to get worse anyway. Yeah, the discussion as to why Godzilla hasn't showed up for 5 years, that gets into play here. And then there's this family of 3, there's parents, and they have a daughter. So yeah, they worked on this little project of theirs, which has something to do with the communications of the monsters, of course. And yeah, this actually comes into play as the film continues to roll on. But yeah, I can say that set up by the noise, folks. So yeah, these 2 parents are not exactly getting along, really. Basically, their daughter is stuck between all this, and then let's just say that the overall idea here is, oh boy, I barely have any popcorn here, folks. Damn, that's very little. Well, anyway, like I was saying, folks, so of course, things pretty much get pretty crazy as the story goes. And yeah, with this little contraption that the parents have made, let's just say there are these 2 groups that want it, and these 2 groups, they don't really get along. Let's just put it that way. Oh yeah, just imagine like this entire place just plunged into chaos. Yeah, that'd be pretty crazy, I guess you can say, folks. Yes, sir. And then there's something about legends. How stories from ancient past are told. But some stories some things are inevitable to happen, I guess you can say. Oh yeah, just imagine if all this gets destroyed, folks. Yeah, by giant monsters during a heated battle. Yes, so that'd be pretty damn crazy. In some ways, the movie really tries to play the whole idea that it's doomsday, the end of the war kind of a thing. So kind of like how some of the people might say the end of times, so to speak. So in some ways, it kind of plays into that. In some ways, which I don't mind really. So that's pretty cool, I guess. It takes itself rather seriously. It's pretty gloomy, which I do think that's a good thing, folks. I don't mind that really. So that gets pretty wild over there. So there's that. Oh boy, folks. Yeah, just imagine like a bunch of people running on the streets or whatever because of a giant monster or whatever. So yeah, they really attempt to make this movie seem really realistic, I guess you can say, which is fine. And yeah, that's basically the summary of the story. I mean, there are some things I want to bring up, I'm going to leave them out because I don't want to spoil it for anyone that hasn't seen it as of yet. So overall, folks, I can say that this was a pretty good movie, a pretty good movie as a whole. Actually, this is bottom line an action movie. You have to keep in mind, folks. If anything, it's an action movie. There's plenty of fight scenes, of course. It moves at a really fast pace, especially towards the end of the movie. And so yeah, they really trying to play homage to the original Godzilla films in some degree, while at the same time the film does attempt to have its own identity, which is fine, I guess. Yeah, it's not flat out copying the old Godzilla films, even though they are trying to play tribute to it in some ways, which is fine. And yeah, there were even some I guess a few wink wink hints towards the original 1954 Godzilla film as well. So in some ways, there's some hints of that as well, which I thought was cool, I guess you can say. So I did like that. So let me see here, folks. Oh, yeah. So I was saying, folks, this was a good movie. So it comes to question that, okay, is this film better than the 2014 one? I guess in some ways it is. I guess you can say. It's alright. I can say it's somewhat better, I suppose. Alright, here we go. And I'm just some crazy nut walking across the street. Yeah, some people give me some real looks, whatever. So anyway, folks, I can say that this one wasn't too bad. So, yeah, it's more action-packed, I guess you can say. They really trying to make it seem really intense, which I'm fine with. Of course, at the top of the fight, it's a Godzilla movie. You would expect to have fight scenes. That's not a spoiler, folks. When you think about Godzilla, you automatically think that there's gonna be some fight scenes. You know that's gonna happen. And then top of that, folks, the fight scenes are well choreographed. I mean, I do have a few issues with the movie, but it's not enough for me to ruin it, I guess you would say. So anyway, the film as a whole was pretty good. I liked it. It's well constructed. Yeah, it's about 2 hours, but it never felt like 2 hours, I guess you can say. Overall, a pretty good movie, I can say. As for the destruction scenes, of course, I have to talk about the destruction scenes, of course. Is that the destruction scenes, for what they had, it was well done. And yeah, of course, King Kong gets brought up here. Specifically Kong Skull Island. Again, that's not really a spoiler or anything, because King Kong, the Skull Island it's kind of like its own separate thing, but it's trying to be connected to this as well. But a lot of people have already brought that up anyway, as it is. So that's not really spoiling anything really, because it was already brought up before this was ever released. So I kind of felt like maybe waiting several years for this, it was maybe too long, if you ask me. And yeah, I kind of thought maybe they could have came out sooner. I mean, don't get me wrong, this was a good movie, but I don't know, maybe it's just me being patient. But anyway, so yeah, I say check it out, folks. Yes, sir, check this movie out. It's not that bad, really. So yeah, it's kind of like they're trying to give you a sense of scope, a sense of size, I guess. Kind of as if like some monsters were like actually roaming around, folks, I guess you would say. So they're trying to get as if it could actually happen to some degree. So they were to make it seem believable, like as if it could be possible, I suppose. And yeah, and that's the thing, folks. I thought the movie was well written. It was really well written, and I thought the movie was well shot. So the dialogue wasn't too bad. The scenery itself was pretty good as well. I really did like the scenery that the movie was doing. So yeah, honestly, the scenery wasn't all that bad. The dialogue went along with the action sequences. So of course, it didn't feel rushed or anything. The overall plot felt smooth. So yeah, I mean, I did have some issues with the movie, but it didn't take away from the enjoyment. But you can say for a lot of movies nowadays, there's always seem to be some problems, I guess you can say, overall. But the film itself isn't, maybe flawed, yes, but it's not horrible. So yeah, there's that, I guess you can say, folks. Yes, sirree. It's definitely a recommendation, folks. And a lot of shit gets fucked up, folks. Oh boy. This film came out a lot darker than it was going to be, and there's a lot more swearing as well. Oh boy, folks, there's a lot of fucking swearing in this movie. Oh, I can say more positive stuff about this film than negative, I guess you can say, folks. But still, honestly, I still feel that The Return of Godzilla is still probably the best film when it comes to portraying Godzilla to be like a force of nature. Yeah, I really like this film to be one of the best in the series, because it really made him seem like a actual threat to humanity. It's great because when you think about it, he's not supposed to be humanity's pet. So give me a break here. At least the director knew what he was doing. He had some idea of what to work with, so he came off more competent. Unlike some directors I know. Make a good movie for once, will ya? Well, anyway, another thing I want to say that he is not a superhero. That's just stupid. I mean, really, just think about it, folks. Always makes me, ponder. And because when you think about it, there's movies like, let's say, for example, like this one, for an example, because he's intentionally going out, killing, leaving things, and murdering everybody. Or even movies like, let's say, this one, where he comes off intentionally, come off really rude and mean, I guess you can say. So yeah, he's more of a monster that just wants to protect his homeland. So when you think about it, how is he? What? If anything, he's not really concerned about the humans, really. I mean, there's been at times where he has to get some help from the human characters. I guess you can say, like, for a fucking example, was gagging where the human characters really don't want to kill him or anything. Or even films like, Godzilla's Megalon, which is kind of the same scenario there. They don't want to kill him at all. But people could always argue that maybe Godzilla himself is more in the gray area. So there's that. But the bottom point of what I'm saying here is that he's definitely a force to be reckoned with. And I definitely did appreciate the fact that this film doesn't take itself rather seriously. It's not a joke, it's not a punchline or anything. So that's definitely a plus in my book, folks. Yes, sir. I did appreciate that it doesn't take itself rather serious. So there's that. Huge events like World War II did happen, and it's a part of human history forever. And yes, of course, even the Vietnam War, which created a lot of controversy in America. And of course, let's not forget the Gulf War, which of course, had actually occurred in so many ways, folks. This could easily been a perfect setup for a Godzilla film, if you ask me. I mean, why not? He's a giant monster after all, so there you go. Before I forget, folks, there's one other aspect of the film I did like, is that the music itself is actually well composed. There's lots of references to a lot of the old Godzilla themes that was made throughout the years. But in this film, they made the Godzilla theme in here, folks. But even though it's more of like a remix theme, I guess you can say, but nonetheless, it is appreciated that his own theme song does appear in this movie, so that's a plus there. So at least we have this movie, folks, for the time being. And yes, there is going to be a third installment later, of course, which I'm definitely going to watch when it comes up. Oh, hell yeah. I'm gonna watch that fucking movie. I mean, I wouldn't call this movie a masterpiece or anything, but it is a good movie, after all. But at the very least, it's better than this bullshit of a movie. Fucking hell, folks, that's one of the worst films I've ever seen of all time. Come on. For this film, I definitely can say that I did like the character designs for the monsters. Yeah, the monster designs were actually pretty solid overall, folks. I did like how they were looking. And I mean, you could tell the characters apart. You knew what they were supposed to be representing, of course. The way they were presented in the film was pretty well done, I guess you can say, because they were pretty easily recognizable. And yes, there's more than one monster. Again, I'm not spoiling anything really, because if you've seen a lot of the trailers, you already know what monster's going to appear here. So you already know what I'm talking about here. So yeah, they do a pretty good job overall with these character designs for the monsters, of course. And so yeah, when it comes to that, I can't complain really at all when it comes to that because they did do a pretty solid job as a whole with these characters. So I guess they're trying to make sure this film has its own identity. And I mean, yes, of course, they were trying to play homage to the old Godzilla films, but trying to keep its own identity in some ways, which in itself is fine. Because there is a difference between, being inspired by something and just flat out copying. So it's trying to be its own thing in some ways, which in itself doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing, really, of course. So, and yeah, there are some issues I have with the movie, but it does more good than wrong, I guess, folks. It does more right than wrong, so I can't really complain too much, really. So overall, the film was quite enjoyable, I guess you can say. So there's nothing bad here. I can't really talk about the movie. Pacing for this film is pretty good, folks. It's really fast paced, so it feels like there's never a dull moment, like at all. So it really gets straight to the point in a lot of ways, which I did like. I didn't mind that really, because at the end of the day, this is an action kaiju movie. And of course, kaiju means giant monster in Japanese.
So yeah, I do think that's definitely a plus there, folks. Yes, sir.
Oh yeah. Could just imagine how like people running and shit, folks. Yeah, wouldn't that be something? So, I guess there's not much else I can say about this because I thought it was really well done. The acting, for the most part, wasn't too bad, I suppose. The acting was solid. I like the acting. It was good. The acting was serviceable, and then on top of that, the special effects were good, folks. I did like the special effects in here. Yeah, even though as far as I'm concerned, Godzilla was and always will be, a guy in a rubber suit, even though you can kind of tell. But in this movie, it's totally CGI. All the monsters are CGI, even though I do miss the whole rubber suit kind of a thing, really. But, I mean, that doesn't really take away the movie because the overall story wasn't bad. The overall story is good. And they try to make it seem like the focus was with his family, which is fine. I know some people might take issue to that, but I'm not that mind with it, really. Because the original Godzilla films were always trying to create characters that were relatable. I mean, they don't always succeed, but you get the idea here. In the original Godzilla films, they're always trying to create human characters that were ordinary, somehow relatable in some sort of manner. So I guess they were trying to use this movie to, I guess you can say, do the same thing in some ways. They're trying to make the human characters come off similar to them. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, sorry about that, folks. It just someone waved at me. So anyway, yeah, yeah. Somebody actually said hi to me. Sweet. So anyway, folks, yeah, as I was saying, the human characters in this movie were pretty cool. Well, hello to that dude, whoever that was. So, sorry about that, folks. So anyway, I can say that the characters in this film were more likable. Yeah, they did their job, I suppose. So anyway, I will give this film an overall rating of 7.9 out of 10. If it gets a 7.9 out of 10, that's a pretty damn high score right there. So as always, thanks for watching and take care. Until next time. Oh yeah. Woo!